Welcome to Yukon's Tombstone Territorial Park. You are about to experience a unique wilderness of rugged peaks, permafrost landforms, and abundant wildlife. But before you start your adventure, there are a few things we want you to know to make sure you have a safe and enjoyable trip. And to make sure you know how to keep this park wild and sustainable for visitors and locals into the future. Let's start with the basics.
This park is a legacy of the Trondequichin Land Claim Agreement and lies entirely within our traditional territory. The park is cooperatively managed by the Yukon government and Trondequichin as an ongoing way of sharing culture and respect for the land.
Well, we have a lot of good history at Tombstone Park. Our people used to travel back that way. We want to keep some land the way it is. All those areas are really important to us. It has history. We want to keep that history alive. Now it's Tombstone Territorial Park, but we have a say in it. We are a participant to that as Trondequichin.
We are happy to share this land with visitors, but we want you to understand how to do so safely and respectfully. There are lots of easy ways to experience Tombstone Park. We have an interpretive center, a campground, and a few day hikes that start right off the Dempster Highway. For those who have more time, you can head out into the backcountry. Tombstone Park has one designated backcountry route that takes you to Grizzly, Divide, and Talus Lake backcountry campgrounds. To go all the way into Talus Lake and back is a 48-kilometer round trip and takes most people 3 to 4 days.
Our staff are here to help visitors understand what to expect and how to stay safe when visiting Tombstone Park. The first thing people should know is that backcountry travel in Tombstone is no walk in the park. When you travel into the park's wilderness, you're on your own and must be self-sufficient. You've got to be prepared for rough terrain, drastic weather changes, and wildlife encounters. I talk to lots of hikers who come back from hiking in our backcountry and say that nothing prepared them for the level of difficulty they encountered. If you are not prepared, don't go. If you're ready for a Tombstone experience, the first thing you need to do is register. Go online to secure your spot. Camping is only permitted on designated sites. We only have a limited number and they book up fast. You should know that you can only spend a couple of nights in a row at any one campground, and we only allow one tent per tent pad. Once you are registered, develop a trip plan that includes information on your planned route, expected return date, and when you want authorities to be contacted if you don't show up on time. Share this with someone you trust. Tombstone is a wilderness park, and Yukon Park staff are not responsible for initiating search and rescue. There is no cell service, and satellite service is unreliable. If you have an emergency, it is going to be up to you to solve it. Once you have a plan, make sure you have all the right equipment and are ready to go. The Trailhead and Interpretive Center are about an hour drive from Dawson City, so make sure you've checked and double-checked to ensure you have everything you need. Bear-resistant food canisters are mandatory for all backcountry travel to protect wildlife, you, and your food supply. Yukon Parks approves the use of hard-shelled bear-resistant food canisters, not soft bags. All attractants must be stored securely. This includes food, food waste, toothpaste, deodorant, and anything else that has a scent. Yukon Parks does not provide canisters. You must purchase or rent your own before you arrive. Your first stop is at the Interpretive Center. All hikers must register before leaving. You'll need to submit and sign off on your trip plan with the park staff before they can provide you with your official backcountry permits. And remember, registration is for park management purposes. It won't initiate search and rescue if you run into a problem. Now you're ready to start your trip. You are heading into the mountains, so expect steep climbs and descents over sharp, slippery, unstable rocks. You'll also be walking through alpine areas, tundra tussocks, rock glaciers, talus slopes, rock slides, and boulder fields. You might even have to use your hands, so gloves can be a good idea. Be prepared for freezing temperatures, wet snow, and icy conditions, even during the summer months. Bring warm clothes and full rain gear. It's important to wear well worn-in comfortable boots. Don't try breaking in new hiking boots in Tombstone. We don't recommend bringing dogs into Tombstone backcountry. If you do decide to bring your pet, remember to keep them on a leash at all times, don't put any food or attractants in their pack, and pack out all their waste. This is a fragile northern environment. We ask you stay on designated trails and marked routes when you can. If there is no obvious route, stick to durable ground where you can spread out to prevent the creation of new trails. Remember that you are traveling in bear country. Stay visible, and if you are in bushy areas, make noise by talking, singing, or simply shouting loudly. In the Grizzly, Divide, and Talus area, there is only camping at facility areas. You cannot choose random places to camp. The trail to Grizzly Lake is about 12 kilometers and takes a full day. Be prepared for a difficult 3.5 kilometer section with a 700-meter elevation change to the ridge, and save energy for the final 3-kilometer descent over the most difficult boulder and creek crossings near Grizzly Lake. You can only find water at kilometer 1.5 and 6.1. All water needs to be filtered, and make sure you have what you need. Stay on the trail and follow the designated route along the ridgeline until it finally drops down towards the lake. When you get to the campground, remember to set your tent up only on the designated tent pads. Do not cook on tent pads or near your tent, as you don't want to attract animals. If your campsite has a cook shelter, please use it or find a place at least 100 meters away. Use a camp stove, as fires are completely prohibited in Tombstone. This is a tundra environment with no firewood, so make sure you have the right type of cooking equipment for the trip. To keep our creeks clean and avoid attracting wildlife, put your dishwater, cooking water, and toothpaste in the campsite's designated gray water barrel. Make sure you put the lid back on after each use, as open barrels can fill up with rainwater. Each campground has outhouse facilities. Bring your own toilet paper, and please do not put garbage or food scraps in the outhouse. All garbage must be packed out. Keep it contained in your bear-proof food barrel so you don't attract animals. The route between Grizzly and Divide Lake is 6 kilometers one way over Glissade Pass and takes most hikers half a day. This is a tough section of trail, so be cautious and stay on the designated route. Water is available on the north side of Glissade Pass at Axeman Creek. The route between Divide and Talus Lakes is 6 kilometers one way and takes most hikers 2 to 3 hours. Stay to the base of the mountain where it is drier and a safer route. Beyond Grizzly, Talus, and Divide Lake hike, there are lots of places to explore in Tombstone Park for those who are experienced, prepared, and self-reliant. You are welcome to explore, but you are still required to register your trip at our interpretive center, bring an approved bear canister, and limit your impacts by traveling and camping on hardened surfaces. No fires, and remember, pack out all your garbage.
This land has been traveled over for thousands of years by First Nations people, and yet we left little to no impact. You can help carry on that legacy. If you visit during the fall, you might encounter hunters within the park. When you see hunters, please be respectful. You are witnessing an important part of northern culture.
Hunting activities may attract wildlife. Avoid areas where ravens are circling. This may be a hunting site and may attract other animals. Once you are finished your adventure in Tombstone, please remember to check in at our interpretive center and let us know of any wildlife sightings or anything you may have seen or experienced that can help us better manage the park.
I know that there's the odd people would ask to come and join us to see how it's run, and we open our doors to that. You come and spend a few days with us here and just being part of it, watching, observing, and enjoying it.
Thank you for visiting Tombstone Territorial Park. We are proud to share our culture in this special place.